Hi and welcome back to this SCILL Unity SDK Quickstart tutorial. In this video, we'll take a look at how to add leaderboards to your app using the admin panel and how to visualize them using the provided UI prefabs in your Unity project. Okay, now that we've got challenges set up, why don't we take a look at adding leaderboards? So let's get back to the admin panel and go to leaderboard. Let's add a new leaderboard and let's call it Hall of Fame Enemies Killed, because we want to track the amount of enemies a player has killed. And the order is going to be descending because we want a player with the most points to be at the very top. Activity, we want it to be instantly active. We want the start date to be now and the end date to be, let's say, 2029. Why not? Okay. And like in challenges, we're going to select the event type that we want to count toward the leaderboard progress. So in our case, the kill enemy type. And also, like in challenges, you could also select or add metadata to further specify what kind of events you want to count toward the leaderboard progress. But for now, let's keep it like this. Let's save it. Okay, so watch out that the start date is actually set a little bit in the future. Let's see if this is okay. Okay, and we've added it successfully. Perfect. And yeah, that's it in the admin panel. Let's get back to Unity. And let's add the Leaderboards Prefabs. So get into the SCILL Unity SDK and Prefabs, Leaderboards, and select the style 1 and add the leaderboard canvas to your scene. Let's move the leaderboard a little bit to the right so it doesn't intersect with our challenges. And then what you have to watch out, or the single thing you have to watch out is the Leaderboard ID, basically. We can get that from the SCILL admin panel. So go to your current leaderboard, Hall of Fame, and then copy the Leaderboard ID here. Let's get back to Unity, insert the ID, and take a look at what's happening. So for now, nothing is displayed. Let's try to kill something, and now our player is in the leaderboard. Great. But actually, what if we actually want to set the name and also adjust the icon on the left here? So similarly to how we do it in the challenges, we can actually adjust this by setting the user info on the SCILL backend. So let's take a look at how to do that. We're actually going to have to create another script for this. So let's create a C# script called set user info at startup, because we want to set the user info at startup. And one thing to watch out, we can't actually just do it in the start method. We have to ensure that the skill manager is actually set up. So let's subscribe to the onSkillManager ready event and just create a method. And once this method is actually called, then it's safe to actually use the skill manager. It won't crash if you use it before, but it actually won't work because it first has to, so basically this is called once the access token is actually generated. So once we can actually send any kind of event or any kind of request to the skill backend. Okay, but now let's use the skill manager again. Skill manager.instance.set user info async. And we can supply a callback, which is called if the API response is positive or negative. We don't need this for now. And we can add a username and an avatar string. So let's make this actually accessible in the inspector. And add this to the setUserInfo async method call. Okay, that's it for the script. Let's add a new object, SCILL username, and add the script to this object. Now my username is going to be David, and as an avatar, I'm just going to set another string which can then be used to load a sprite from resources. So you can set this user info actually however you want, either from the client code directly, or if you have some kind of setup in your own custom backend, you can also call this function. Or you can also use, for example, Steam, request the Steam username and set it also automatically to that username. But in this case, avatar, gonna set it to, let's say Omega, because I actually know that in the samples we've got a cool Omega sign. So go to samples, resources, and take this Omega sprite and let's put it into our resources folder. In the resources folder, let's create a new subfolder called avatars. So SCILL will automatically attempt to read or to load the avatars from a avatars subfolder in any kind of resources folder. You can actually adjust this by going to the prefabs, to the leaderboard prefabs, and select the ranking prefab. And there you can actually change the avatar resources path if you, for example, make a prefab variant or something from this prefab. And there you can set the subfolder that the sprite is loaded from. But let's get back to our avatars folder, set this to Omega, and let's try this again. And our name is automatically set to David, and the Omega sign is displayed. Now, actually, maybe I'm going to explain what this header actually is. And so basically the list or the leaderboard is displayed on the bottom here. And in the prefab, there's also kind of a header edit so that the user can always see his own ranking in the leaderboard on the top without having to scroll through the leaderboard. Let's actually try it with another user ID. So let's set the user ID here to 42, for example. And let's also adjust the username to, I don't know, Patrick, who is also using the Omega avatar. Then we can see the current user isn't represented in the leaderboard. Also, he hasn't actually unlocked our the challenge, the daily kill challenge. And if we now press E, then we are actually going to be added to the leaderboard and placed in second place. Okay, nice. So we've got our personal challenges set up, we've got our leaderboard set up, and in the next video we'll take a look at how to integrate battle passes into our sample project. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.